Mayor Dada Morero joins us this evening. Mr. Mayor, good evening to you. Thank you so much for joining us and welcome to Newzroom Africa. How are you feeling this evening? Excitement? Is it relief? Were you quite confident that you'd still be sitting here at this hour?
Well, we did know that the motion will not succeed precisely because the matters that were raised by the Democratic Alliance in the motion were quite weak, were not addressing issues of substance. And as a result of that, we felt this motion will not succeed. So I'm okay. We were clear as a coalition partners that we will defeat it. And it's not really about being excited or anything, but just to accept that in the process of democracy, there are instances where the constitution, the laws of this country do allow for motions to be presented as and when other parties have an issue. The only difference here is that the matters that they raised were not matters of substance, were not matters that relate to the inability of the executive to discharge its duties. And that's basically the weakness of the Democratic Alliance.
What is your sense of the loss for the Speaker, Nobuhle Mthembu of Action SA? What do you make of what this will do for Council?
Well, it's unfortunate and regrettable that ourselves as the ANC and Action SA, in our discussions, we started in May, we could not reach a settlement on some of the matters that we were discussing, but we did commit to continue to engage until we can find a solution beneficial to all the two parties. Unfortunately, on Monday, the discussions became quite difficult, and we could not reach an agreement on the three motions, wherein we had proposed as the ANC that let's defend all the three motions and then engage on the matters that are still outstanding from the discussions that we had, and we can then take the report to our upper structures for finalization of whatever proposals would come up with as part of building this relationship between the ANC and Action SA. Unfortunately, the meeting deadlocked, and Action SA then made it clear that they will not be voting in support of in defense of the mayor. And in fact, they categorically stated clear that they have no confidence themselves in the current track record of this government, and therefore they will not be supporting. Which then left the ANC with an option to go and also discuss, and the ANC then came back with the coalition partners, and there was a view and a decision that they will vote in removal of the Speaker. And this was also based on previous interactions where the Action SA would not have voted against the budget. They would have voted against a loan. They would have voted against the report on acting arrangements in the city, which parties in the coalitions felt that Action SA has constantly acted outside of the collective. Yes, we accept that they had indicated they're not part of the coalition, and that is one reason also that motivated members in the coalition to say we can no longer continue with Action SA. We'll then remove the Speaker. But if the Action SA wants to come back to the table for discussions, doors are opened, and the ANC made it clear even on Monday, we are ready to continue to engage on other matters.
What other matters would those be? So essentially what I'm trying to get from you, Mr. Mayor, is the ongoing, so the relationship with Action SA moving forward, but also the biggest concerns or what it is that you'll be watching closely with your relationship with Action SA moving forward.
Well, we'll continue to work with them. They've committed on issue by issue, which we have also agreed that on issue by issue we'll then interact where we find each other, there's common agreement, we will work together. But we don't want an environment at which our relationship is antagonistic to each other. All what we want is to find better solutions in ensuring that the residents of Johannesburg do get services, and all of us as parties can work towards delivery of those services. So we're still open to continuous engagement with Action SA. You do know that in Tshwane, we're working with them through the mayor of Tshwane. So there's no issue. We still want to engage with them. It's just unfortunate that on Monday they then took a stance which we did not expect. As the ANC, we thought we can really find each other and defeat all the three motions, and we can iron out the other issues that relate to positions in the executive and how do they therefore become formally part of the coalition. And those are the issues we were trying to unlock, and we're almost getting to the end. Unfortunately, the motions came before we can conclude.
Action SA this evening, while speaking to us, not quite clear on what their plan will be like for tomorrow, as council sits then with the process to elect a Speaker of Council. What is the ANC's plan going into tomorrow?
No, council will not be sitting tomorrow in terms of procedure and processes. Once there's no speaker, it means the city manager will then have to issue a notice to convene at least within 14 days, a meeting in which a speaker has to be elected. And once that has been done, we can then table reports, executive reports, which were meant to be tabled today and tomorrow.
Yeah.
So tomorrow there will be no meeting anymore until the city manager has convened and issued the notice within the next 14 days.
Okay, great. That's timelines that we are aware of now, thanks to that clarity. But what is your plan? Have you got a name that you'll be putting forward? Could it be Margaret Arnold?
Well, the ANC and the coalition will go back to discuss. We all know that Margaret was a speaker and performed very well. So possibly that's the name that we'll start shortlisting from, because I suppose there will be a shortlisting process amongst the parties in the coalition to eventually agree on who will be the candidate of the coalition to take over the position of the speaker.
Yeah, we are in conversation with the mayor of the city of Johannesburg, who has today survived a motion of no confidence. We're going to take a short break. When we come back, though, let's talk about what is on his to-do list as he continues to hold on to that mayoral chain, some of the green shoots that he's had in his time as mayor, and also some of the hurdles that do face him in the months that come. You can also get in touch with us with questions for the mayor or comments, 072-110-5584, or give us a call on 010-594-6010. We are back in a moment. Stay with us. Welcome back. Well, we continue with our top story, which of course is the Johannesburg Mayor Dada Morero surviving a motion of no confidence today. He has described the DA-sponsored motion as an attempt to destabilize the city. He has joined us now via video link. Keen to hear your questions, thoughts for him as well by sending us a WhatsApp 072-110-5584. But let's do this, Mr. Mayor, and talk about really what is top of mind for you then in the time that you do have left as mayor of the city of Johannesburg. March certainly wasn't an easy time for the city, with the president having that oversight visit in Johannesburg and really concerned about how we're looking like in the run-up to G20 meetings coming up in November. So talk to me about what you're prioritizing now that you're firmly holding on to that chain.
Well, I did announce my priority during the State of the City address, and key to it is bylaw enforcement and crime prevention, understanding that we've got a lot of lawlessness in Johannesburg. We're experiencing vandalism of infrastructure. So we thought at the center of our work should be bylaw enforcement and crime prevention, which therefore meant as we pass our budget in May, we needed to ensure that we are able to address resources towards that primary objective, or rather the priority that I've set for the city of Johannesburg. Two, we took a view that we'd have to focus on service delivery, ensuring that we make sure that the traffic lights are working, traffic signals are working, basically focusing on the basics, dealing with potholes. As you can see that we're still faced with a lot of potholes in Johannesburg, resurfacing of roads and fixing of our bridges. And that is why in our budget we allocated money towards infrastructure refurbishment so that we can address those weaknesses. So service delivery in the main, whether it's refuse collection, whether it's turning dam site into mini parks and all sorts of issues. So we have committed ourselves to dealing with it. The third part being financial sustainability. One, ensure that we increase the collection rate in terms of our revenue so that we can have sufficient revenue to support our budget and respond to these service delivery challenges that are faced by our city. So those are the three core main priorities that I'm focused on. And of course, it will change the face of the city of Johannesburg. Yeah. However, we've also made a commitment in as far as the rejuvenation, which is one of the bigger projects of the inner city, focusing on rejuvenation of the inner city, the CBD of Johannesburg. So there's work that's being done to rejuvenate and reclaim the inner city of Johannesburg.
Indulge me, Mr. Mayor, we are getting closer to 2026, those local government elections coming. And it's a question that I asked to the caucus leader of the Democratic Alliance as well, these murmurs and considerations. The federal chair of the Democratic Alliance, Helen Zille, saying she's been approached to put herself forward to stand for the position of mayor in Johannesburg. Is that for you concerning that might be a big challenge for yourself and the ANC in the local government elections?
No, not at all. The ANC process of a candidate selection has not started. It will probably start just around June or May next year. And once the process has started, it will then produce a candidate mayor for Johannesburg. And any candidate that the ANC will produce will ensure it's a person with the right skills and expertise and will be fit for the job, fit for the task, and equal to the challenge. It doesn't matter who else those parties, whether it's a DA or any other party, will bring, will ensure we've got the right person as the ANC. As we always make sure that our candidate mayors in Johannesburg are people with the right attitude, the right vision, and the right expertise and skills. So we will ensure that we provide a good candidate. By the way, the pardon?
Yeah, will you be available to put your name in the hat once again?
When the selection starts, I suppose that all of us who are current councillors are allowed an opportunity to make ourselves available, and I will do so and avail myself.
All right. Mr. Mayor, we do appreciate your time and thank you so much for speaking to us after what has been a very busy day. He remains the Johannesburg Mayor, Mr. Dada Morero, speaking to us this evening after having survived that motion of no confidence that was brought by the Democratic Alliance.